Hey YouTube, this is my fourth installment video. I have some pretty awesome updates. I haven't done an update video in a little bit of time. But anyway, I started testosterone on Tuesday, which is the June 23rd. It was a big day for me and a really exciting day. Definitely a monumental moment in my experience and transition. And so I thought I'd take some time to kind of talk about that and talk about what's next and talk about how I'm feeling and all of that stuff. Obviously, not a whole lot of like updates in regards to testosterone and changes and all that because it's been like 2 days, but just kind of more about the process and experiences with my doctor and what's going to happen next. So yeah. I went to my doctor originally about a month and a half ago, and I've been working with her ever since. I'm getting my treatment at Fenway Health in Boston. I live on the North Shore in Salem, Mass. So it's not super convenient, but it's convenient enough, and I have amazing access and the ability to go into the city. So that's where I chose to have my care, and it's been amazing since then. I see Dr. Karen Kelly, and she has been really great. She's been at Fenway Health for like 2 years now. So anyway, I've had 3 overall appointments with her. 2 initial setup appointments, one really more about my medical history, and then one more about my mental health history, as well as my gender history, and kind of getting my background story with that. So very thorough and kind of getting my story, specifically with having like kind of a particularly complicated medical condition. I know I wanted somebody who was gonna like look at my comprehensive medical history and everything and be like, okay, you're set to go, these medications won't interact with this, and you'll be fine, and all of that, and these are the things to look out for, and so anyway, she's been really great. So I had 2 initial appointments, and then on my 3rd appointment I had a physical, and then my blood drawn, and then I started testosterone. So we went through on my 3rd appointment the consent form, the informed consent on taking testosterone, and which is a pretty lengthy document that they have on their website, so you can check that out there. And we went through kind of the effects of how it would affect my body, and risks and liabilities, and all of, you know, the things that they have to do like legally. So the appointment was great. It made me feel very comfortable. The doctors never rushed me when I've had an appointment, which is amazing, because I hate going to the doctor and feel like they're rushing you and like they don't have time for you. So that's been great. With the actual shot and my dosage and all of that, I started with a dose of 80, and I'm going to be doing that weekly for right now. And typically they give you a choice, and or depending on your doctor, they decide for you if you're better for doing like a shot every 2 weeks or a shot every week. And so for me, I decided that I wanted to do a weekly shot to avoid any type of emotional or physical dips, because I just generally physically can have those myself anyway, like with like medical conditions. Some have like shitty days with how I'm feeling anyway. So I don't want to like add on to that. I want a consistent experience. So sometimes when you go on a 2-week, time frame of tea, you start off with a little bit more tea in your system, and then as the 2 weeks go on, you kind of dip towards the end of the time that you're on before your next shot. And so not everybody experiences that, but I didn't really want to take the chance. The trade-off is that I have to inject myself every week. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I'd really like to be able to have them teach me next time how to self-inject and get as comfortable as possible with the process, so I can be doing it on my own. I don't want to have to go into Boston to Fenway every week to get an injection. But I will go as much as I need to until I'm comfortable. I don't want to cut any corners. I don't want to be unsafe. And I think that's really important. So anyone out there who's starting tea and thinking about this process, don't cut corners. You see my cat in the back. At least she's not bothering me this time. But anyways, don't cut corners. Listen to your doctors. Don't give yourself more than you're supposed to take. It's just, there's no point in it. Actually, if you're giving yourself a higher dose, your body will turn that back into estrogen, and it won't do you any good. So it's a waste. So don't do it. So my dosage, yeah, like starting at 80, and then I guess we'll kind of go up or adjust from there. And she didn't really want to shock my system because I'm still coming off of and adjusting from the old medication that I was on. And I'm feeling that, like I'm definitely feeling the adjustment in my hormones. Like my skin is definitely more oily. When I was a kid, before I started that medication, I had really bad acne and like very oily skin. And now I've noticed, since I've been off that other medication that kind of helps regulate it, in addition to all the hormonal pieces, my skin has been a whole lot more oily and just a different kind of consistency. And so, I mean, it's not that different, and like I've been really lucky so far, like knock on wood, that like I haven't really had a whole lot of like acne or anything pop up yet, but I know that I'm more at risk than people in general, trans guys in general that are on T, because of my just history with PCOS and having just the heightened levels of testosterone. But my doctor said that also could level out by taking T. So there's not enough research out there to show that it can't level out, but there's some research out there that's showing that there's a heightened level of connection between folks, FTMs who have PCOS and who are FTM. So anyway, long story short, my skin has been changing, and that is just kind of natural hormonal things coming off of a different medication into like my natural balance of hormones, which is really interesting. So I never used to use anything for my skin before. Like I just wouldn't do anything to it, because if I did, it would affect it in a way that it would make it worse or whatever. So I would just not do anything other than like, wash your face in the shower or whatever. I wouldn't use any type of specific cleanser or wash it like 2 times a day or whatever. It was like super low maintenance and amazing for a really long time, which I feel very fortunate for. But now I can definitely change that, feel that chemistry changing, and I bought myself some stuff that would kind of hopefully facilitate less oiliness. But I mean, it's not bad. Like I know that it's shitty in here, and we'll just ignore that just happened, and I won't fuck with this. But anyway, I mean, you can tell that it's a little bit more oily than usual, but like I have a little more sheen. But it's also summer, and it's like everyone's sweating, and like whatever. Other than that, I don't know. My body is like, I think it's retaining fluid. The medication that I was on before, part of the medication side effect, or yeah, I guess you could say side effect, is to get rid of fluid retention. So now that I'm off of that, my body is definitely retaining fluid more. And so I don't love the way that my body feels right now. So I've been trying to work out and not like intake a whole lot of salt and stuff like that. But I need to work harder at that until my body kind of adjusts and I get more tea into my system. I think that hopefully will balance some of that out. What else? Natural changes, that's something that's a thing. But other than that, I think coming off the other medication wasn't too terrible. I thought it was going to be worse because I have had side effects from that medication over the years that has been kind of up and down. But it hasn't been too terrible, and I'll just be really interested to see how my body starts to take on tea and how it facilitates it out, and like what takes, you know, how long things take, and what changes first and what doesn't, and it'll just be really interesting. But yeah, other than like physical changes, obviously those videos will come later, but like overall my mental health and like my confidence has already started to change drastically. It's very clear in just the ways in which like I'm expressing myself in my videos. I think that you could probably tell in my comfortability just in conversations, approaching people, but just just confidence, and I think is huge, and being more confident and authentic in who I am is huge, and it's becoming very real, and it's a very interesting feeling, and I'm trying to be very cognizant of like how much at one time that like that's happening, and is it happening too much, and like stop overthinking things, and it's like all what's happening in my brain right now. So a lot of things to be cognizant of. I'm starting to look for a new therapist. I've kind of stopped seeing my other therapist because I felt like she was really kind of uneducated, though she feels like she is changing the trans world one client at a time. I just really wasn't enjoying my experience anymore. I think it was good for the initial work, but I'm decently educated in the topic and my experience, and I need somebody to push me farther and to help me critically think about things in a better light, so and more intentional light. So I'm looking for a new one. I think I have one that I want to go see, so I'm going to start that process soon. But I have a whole lot going on with my family, and so my focus is kind of like on myself with everything that I need to take care of with transition and stuff like that. But it's really more on my family because there's a lot going on there. So if I do kind of disappear, that's where I'm at. But anyways, I haven't really decided what I will be doing in regards to like how often I will be doing updates. I guess I'll kind of gauge what kind of things are changing and how often they're changing, and then from there, do updates. It might be monthly, it may be every 2 weeks, I don't know. I'm not going to do them if like nothing's changing. So please let me know if you have any questions. If you're curious about Fenway Health, about the doctor that I see, about any resources on the North Shore of Mass. I recently just started a meetup group for, FTM trans folks on the North Shore with a friend of mine. There's a couple of different groups in Boston, affinity spaces and support groups, but there's really nothing on the North Shore. So I just started that with a friend of mine, and we're looking for folks to participate. If you are interested and need that resource, you can go to meetup.com or whatever it is and get the app on your phone. And if you're in the area and want to join, we're looking for members, and then we'll start deciding on where we want to have meetings and stuff like that. So I believe it's under Transgender FTM North Shore. I can't remember off the top of my head. I will put it below in the bio of this video or whatever. I'll put the link, and you can look it up. And I'll also put some type of email or whatever to, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me as a resource, and I'd be happy to answer anything that you might have. But anyway, I think that's it for now. I'm sure this video is long enough. I guess for her good behavior, we'll kind of showcase Charlie and how well she's behaved today. Say hi, Charles. Good kitty. Anyways, have a good week or 2 weeks or however long it is until I see you next, YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Have a good one.